Hawley.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thanks for calling this hearing. Thanks for your terrific leadership on this over many years. I want to start by thanking all the parents who are in the room, a number of whom have become personal friends of mine over the last year. I want to thank you for your courage. I want to thank you for your bold moral witness. And I want to say to you that these verdicts in California and New Mexico were vindications of you. Because for years now, we've been told, well, it's really your fault. Well, you should have done this. You should have done that. If the parents would do this, it would all be fine. Those are all lies. They knew they were lies. The companies never really believed it. They knew, as Ms. Lanier exposed in court, that they were at fault. They knew it all along. And it was always about the money and the profit, but they were happy to blame you. And when finally, you were able to get in front of a jury, an honest jury of 12 reasonable men and women, just hardworking Americans, by golly, they looked at that and they agreed with you. They said you were right. They said that your rights were violated. They said that your children were destroyed, and these companies did it for one reason only: profit, all about money. So I want to say to you, congratulations. This is just the beginning of the vindication that you deserve. And I also want to say that those jury verdicts were not just vindications of parents, they were indictments of the United States Congress. 2 different juries in 2 different states listened to the evidence and said, we got to hold these people accountable. This body has sat for years and heard the same evidence. There was nothing that was presented to those juries that this body did not know in principle. Not a thing. Now, Ms. Lanier got her discovery, and she did an extraordinary job, and I want to talk about that in just a second. There was evidence that you couldn't look away from, but let's not pretend. This body knew and knows all of that, all of it. And yet, what has the United States Congress done? Not a thing. Why is that? Same reason. Money. Money, money, money. Oh, I know we're not supposed to say it, and my colleagues hate it when I talk about it, but it is just the truth. You may as well put a sign on the United States Senate door that says, property of big tech. But last I looked, the Constitution doesn't say we the corporations. It says we the people. It's time for this body to get some courage and to act on the lead of these good jurors, these normal working people who looked at this evidence and said, we've got to do something. This body needs to do something. It is time. I've heard the speeches, I've seen the press conferences, I've seen it all. And then these same people go and they vote no on the floor, they kill bills behind the scenes. I've seen it. I've seen it all. It is time for this to end. And I hope, Ms. Lanier, your incredible victory in court will be a watershed moment, not just in the courtroom, but in the halls of Congress, on the floor of the Senate, on the floor of the House. It is time for this body to vote on the legislation.
Senator Josh Hawley delivered one of the most intense speeches yet against big tech during a heated Senate hearing on social media harms affecting children. Hawley praised parents who fought tech companies in court and claimed recent jury verdicts prove that corporations knowingly prioritized profit over children's safety. During the hearing, Hawley accused Congress of failing to act despite years of evidence and even suggested the Senate was too influenced by big tech money. Attorney Rachel Lanier also explained why jury trials are critical in holding corporations accountable and revealed why tech companies allegedly fear facing ordinary Americans in court.
This committee has passed unanimously. We have passed laws that would give victims the right to get into court, as your clients did, Ms. Lanier. It is time for this body to vote on it. We have voted to stop chatbots from preying on our children. It is time for the Senate to pass it. There's no more excuses that are worth hearing. None of them. None of them. And your victories, Ms. Lanier, Rachel, showed that. Congratulations on your just tremendous, tremendous work. You said a second ago in your opening statement that the jury, I'm paraphrasing now, the jury trial was made for this minute, for this moment. Can you explain what you meant by that? I think that is such a key point. Just tell us what you meant by that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Senator Hawley. The jury trial is meant to hold people accountable for wrongdoing and tell corporations you don't get a free pass for hurting children. And to have a jury of ordinary, everyday people from all walks of life look at the evidence, hear all the arguments in front of America, and to say this is not okay, this is not acceptable, you can't treat our children this way. It was so absolutely critical to get the voice of the American people and to see that what our jury system is built to do is working. But it also takes people like you to make sure that, again, things are passed on all different fronts to hold big tech accountable.
Why is it, do you think, that these corporations fear the jury trial so much? I mean, they fought you tooth and nail. They raised every possible defense, including very frivolous ones. They raised Section 230 as a defense in your case. Your case isn't about content. It's not a 230 case. They raised it nonetheless. Why do you think they fear juries so much?
You know, their own documents speak to this because it says what we're doing is indefensible. That's a quote. What we're doing is indefensible. And they take a chapter out of the big tobacco playbook and they try to hide and they try to muddy the waters, and the American people see through it.
How important is it in light of that to give every victim, every parent in this audience and across America an access to a fair jury trial?
Absolutely critical. People deserve their day in court, and our founding fathers intentionally made our system that way, and that's one of the beautiful things about our country.
You know, on this America's 250th anniversary or 250th birthday, we can't do better than to go back to the framers' wisdom. It's right there in the Constitution, the right to trial by jury. I think there's nothing better that the U.S. Congress could do this year for every parent in America than to give the right to every parent in America to get into court against these companies and to have your day in court. It is a foundational right for all Americans. It has been denied to the American people for decades. For decades. It's time to right that wrong. We can start right now. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator Padilla.
Thank you, Madam.
Please, don't forget to like, comment, and hit the subscribers button for more political updates.